All right then. I guess it's time for another video. Now, in this particular video, I'm just going to speak on what's really going on and how you hear a lot of these things, this propaganda. I wouldn't even call it propaganda. That's kind of simple-minded, but you hear a lot of different theories relating to what's going on, organized harassment, you know, new world monitoring, organized stalking, organized harassment. We hear a different story every other day about, the reasons why, you know, people would tell you that, oh yeah, man, you are a whistleblower, you are outspoken, you are, this, you are that. I mean, it's like it's an ongoing guessing game. It's ongoing. It's nonstop. Others will tell you, well, it is your DNA. It's aliens. It's ghosts. Now, if you want to call it demons, yeah, maybe you could call a very evil person who's unable to change a demon. Okay, but they are not being possessed by demons. They are natural demons in the flesh. Okay, but that's really it. You know, it's only human trafficking at the end of the day. Okay, when they or these people or these groups are trying to traffic you into the mental health system or the prison system, yeah, it is human trafficking in a nutshell. But even when it does come to human trafficking, you know, after they've had you committed or in prison maybe one or two times, you would assume that everything would stop. You would assume that this particular freak show would probably come to an end. But you give it years and 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 years, and the same thing is still occurring. Okay? You have to really give it thought. Why do they continue to do what they do after they've already ruined your life? I mean, why continue? Why not just go ahead and stop with the nonsense? I mean, if they've already had you in prison one time, two times, three times, why would they continue to play this game with you? What's the point of continuing this game if they've already put you in a bad place time and time and time again? Now, I was looking at this other YouTube video where this one TI was committed, and if you look on YouTube, you will easily find these channels, where you have these predator or pedophile hunters, and they will pose as a teen online. And after they pose as a teen online, they may end up catching a weirdo here and there. And then this particular weirdo will try to meet up with this minor. And guess what? It's not a minor. It is a fully grown adult. And they have been caught up in a sting. Not a real law enforcement sting, but they were caught. Okay? They were caught. There are text messages, photos. I mean, they are clearly guilty. And even in these cases, the individuals are never taken to prison. Okay? Even with cases involving these random old ladies just going crazy on random people, punching, punching and pushing random people, they hardly ever end up in a mental facility. So it's pretty clear that targeted individuals are being targeted purposely. Okay? Anytime someone is that quick to throw you in a mental hospital, that is clearly something very wrong going on. And what's messed up is you have people in law enforcement and you have people working for these mental health industries. You have people in these top tier industries and agencies participating in what's going on. But don't be fooled, okay? There are ordinary, everyday citizens doing this to people as well. Doesn't have to be a CIA, FBI, and these other big government agencies, the NSA. We are living in a very, very technological era. And these days, you honestly don't have to be targeted by the big bad government in order to, you know, end up in a very bad position. Society as a whole is just evil, okay? Most people are capable of evil. You may not be capable of it, but most people are, okay? So it's not a surprise. What's going on is merely human trafficking. It's technological human trafficking in one aspect where very advanced technology is being used to cause or induce mental illness. I'll say it again. Very advanced technology is being used to induce artificial mental illnesses. Divorces and all these other things is all artificial. There are so many people right now being misled. They believe in higher self, they believe in spiritual guides. It's not really any of that at all. Okay? Higher self wouldn't entail gang stalking. Higher self wouldn't entail, organized harassment. Most targeted individuals will experience these synchronicities like 1111, 222, 333, 1111. Most targeted individuals are going to experience, sorry about that, experience these synchronicities. And these synchronicities are not caused by anything out of this realm or whatever. These synchronicities are caused by you being on a very advanced satellite, I'm going to say it again, a very advanced brain to satellite network. And this network is not only able to, just wake you up at a specific time. Now, there are real people using this technology, but it's still a network, okay? But you may wake up at 11:11. You may hear voices in your head, okay? This is known as artificial telepathy, and it's all satellite. No 5G, no 4G. It is all, I'm telling you, it is all satellite. Now, 5G may make the environment more dangerous, but it's not really going to have an influence over what's happening to most targeted individuals. You could take down cell towers altogether, and you will still experience the so-called V2K or divorces because it is all from a satellite, and that's really it, man. Now let me get into another aspect of what's going on. When it comes, I know I said when it comes, but that's all I can really think of. Or with the situation at hand, most of you don't really know how long this has been going on. Now I'm not gonna tell you a whole story about my life, but coming up, whenever I would be with my grandparents at a very young age, like I could be like 5 years old, and I could be with them like at a grocery store or any kind of store, a shop. Whenever I would be with them, at a young age, 3, 4, 5, that's when my memories really kicked in. I would notice a lot of weird people coming up to my granddad and grandma. I'm talking grandfather, grandmother, whatever, same shit. And these people would either be gay, they would either be drunk, or they would either be very incompetent. Like they would just be talking all weird, acting weird, asking stupid questions. Like, it was clearly street theater back then, and I was young. So whatever's going on, it's not new. Y'all niggas act like this shit started, you know, in 2014. Oh yeah, man, this is a 2014 program. Obama administration started this shit, man. No, this has been going on since the 70s, 60s. You know, it's old. This is old. The technology that they use against the youth is old. They are not testing out new technology. This technology was perfected years ago. This is why you had people in the 70s and, the 80s eras, and they were, they were on drugs, they were hearing voices, they were, paranoid. This has been going on for a long time. Lives have been ruined as a result of this technology for a very long time. And that's the only deal. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. This is not nothing new. So when I see TIs going about it like, okay, I'm going to go report it to this person. I'm going to go to and report it to, a government agency. You can report it all day. People have done this, decades ago. Saw my phone kind of cut out, so I don't know. Kind of acted kind of, Anyway, people have already done this. I mean, niggas filed FOIA requests years ago. They were complaining of this, back in the 70s and 80s, long before many of you were even born. So whatever's going on is not anything new. It's only new to your reality, even though it was likely already a part of your reality. As I said, I was a young buck, man, with my grandparents, and that would be like just weirdos around us 24/7. Crisis actors around us 24/7. That was either a drunk person, a gay person, or just an individual who was straight out incompetent. Just all around us, in our faces, around the clock. It was nonstop. Then even when I was like a young boy, like real young, I would always have these individuals coming up to me and pinching my jaws really hard, and it would be so hard to the point that I would, try to smack that hand back or even swing at them. So whatever's going on is nothing new to me. I hear TIs, they be just like crying because, oh my God, my livelihood was ruined. My life was ruined a few years ago. And it's like, okay, so your life was ruined a few years ago. Oh, this all started 3 years ago. Okay, whatever you say. But see, the thing is, most TIs don't see things how I see it. Like, most of you only live in the present. Most people don't think back to what happened a few years ago. They don't think back and look at those weird events that took place, when they were like 9 and 10. They don't look back that far. No one really looks back that far, but I do. And looking back, there is no doubt in my mind that whatever's going on in my life as of now was taking place years ago. It was happening then, and clearly it's happening now. It's all based, I'm going to say it again, it's all based off of your perception. Like, that's why the Truman Show is a pretty good example of this phenomenon. Like, the Truman Show is one of the best. This dude was living a lie the entire time and didn't figure it out until he was well into adult. God, that's wild, bro. This nigga was well into adulthood when he really was able to figure out what was really going on. I mean, what was taking place his entire life. He would have had no idea his whole life was a lie. Even when I was like 7, I could stand near like ovens, fans, computers, and I would develop this random onset of tinnitus. Then when I would like step away from this fan or computer, the tinnitus would leave instantly. So I have the same tinnitus now that I had back then. But throughout the years, when you are exposed to it long enough, it is what it is. I had migraine headaches migraine headaches coming up. But as I said, this technology is no different than anything else. It worsens with exposure. The longer you are exposed to it, the more vulnerable your body becomes. It's that simple. And that's basically it. You just woke up to your true reality. You were living a lie the entire time, and then you woke up. A couple of years ago, you would have never guessed why, people did certain things or acted a certain way. You would have never knew why you were a kid coming up and you saw like holograms and just you could be in the dark and you would see things right in front of you. Now I never really experienced this, but I'm sure a lot of TIs have. I'm pretty sure a lot of them can easily confirm this in the comments. But this was neural monitoring. There are use on neural monitoring right now, and there are plenty of young bloods in a mental facility right now as a result of this technology. Their lives already have been ruined. Already. At a young age like that, they have already been ruined. You just have to look at it logically. You cannot just say, oh, well, mine started in this year, mine started this year, mine started that year. You don't really know. Okay, it's not like anyone is going to ever tell you what's going on. No one is ever going to come up to you and tell you what the deal is. They'll tell you some bullshit just to lead you astray. They cannot give you the app. They cannot give you the software. They cannot give you anything that will hold up in court. Whatever they tell you will only get you placed in a mental hospital. And that's really it. They're not going to tell you anything of any value. When I tell you that these people are crisis actors, they are indeed crisis actors. You got TIs crying, oh man, man, the gay stalkers, man, they looked at me a certain way, that they did this to me, they did that to me, they hate me because of this. Look. These people are only acting. When they look at you a certain way, they are only acting. When they walk by you doing certain things, they are only acting. They are just doing their job. Paid or not, they are just doing their job. It's no different than, Hollywood. You know how they act in Hollywood? Denzel Washington has played a cop. Nigga has played a fucking... Yeah, I'm just saying. It's no different than Hollywood. Just compare them to Hollywood. Acting. They are all crisis actors. And that's really it. They are crisis acting. When they do certain things, just know that there is really no true intentions behind it. Yeah, they want to make you go crazy. They want to get your attention, but that's really it. They are obsessed with you, but when they pour these stunts, that's really it. It's just them doing what they need to do, honestly. They know that you are a nobody. They know that you are not, a big time kingpin, a drug dealer. They know for a fact that you are just a random nobody who just wants to live their life. Okay. There's nothing wrong with being a nobody. Being a nobody, in my honest opinion, is a good thing. You're quiet, don't bother anyone, you just mind your own business. That's a nobody, in my honest opinion. Most of these people will usually, or a lot of times, they'll be ex-cons, hardcore ex-felons, like people who've robbed other people at gunpoint, uh, shot people, just horrible, just very horrible individuals. And you think that these people are part of a community watch group? This is not really community watch because they are not watching the entire community. Yo, let me say it again. I kind of crackled. I kind of cracked up on that. They are not watching the entire community. They are only playing these games with you. So no, there is no community watch. All right. They are crisis acting, and everything that they do is only meant to grab your attention. If you go into an argument with these people, you may assume that, oh yeah, I got to them. You would never ever get to these people because they are crisis acting. Even when they pretend to be, even when they seem angry or that you've got the better of them, believe me, you haven't. They are all crisis actors. When I tell you that they are crisis acting, they are. Nothing you say or do really has an impact on them. I'm telling you what I know. Even when they argue with you, they are generally not even angry. They just want your attention. And when they cannot get your attention, they'll just try even harder to. And if you are a person who's just like, you are just out of the way, you mind your own business, you don't even look at people, then, at this point, they may kind of back down a little bit because if what they do cannot grab your attention, I mean, it's not like they can go up and punch you or nothing like that. So what else is there for them to do? Okay, if they cannot get that subconscious or emotional response out of you, I mean, what else is there? What else is there left? So just keep that in mind because they do know what you think. They know how you react to everything because you are on New World monitoring, and they are also on New World monitoring, but by choice. So that's really it, man. That's all I can really tell you. They are crisis acting. You may think that you've gotten the best of these people. No, they are just all acting. It's all a stunt. When they act angry, it's a stunt. When they act, incompetent, drunk, gay, or whatever they do, it's all a stunt. It's only meant to grab your attention. And that is really it. And before you all call it a watch list or, some kind of terrorist screening, let me put it this way, okay? You got repeat offenders, for example. You have people committing crimes over and over and over again. You have registered sex offenders committing crimes over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But these people probably aren't being harassed in the manner that you are. They're not being harassed in the sort of fashion as the TI. The harassment or, the harassment tactics used against most targeted individuals is very different than any other. Look at it this way. A lot of these criminals have real public records. In my case, I've seen sex offenders at the gym and people take them in with open arms. Like, some of these guys were like 20, 21 years old and they were caught. I'm not even going to get into it, but these people, in my honest opinion, are very sick individuals. And they did commit the crime. I'm not talking about online crimes. These individuals literally committed a physical act. But nevertheless, no one has a problem with them at all. You even have violent people. You have these thuggy dudes who've beaten up people, robbed stores and stuff like that. But when they get out of prison, they are accepted with open arms. Many of these individuals are even your quote unquote, I'm gonna say it again, your quote, I kind of messed up on it, your quote unquote organized harassers. These are some of the same people participating in what's going on. And even when it comes to a watch list, okay, there are plenty of people from, Islamist backgrounds, they have Arabic sounding names or whatever. And even though many of these individuals are on watch lists, real watch lists, like if these people or individuals try to board a flight, they are going to get pulled to the side. They are on a real government watch list. But I can assure you that many of them, or most of them, are not being gang stalked or, targeted individuals. Even when it comes to so-called sex offenders, okay? Yeah, somebody may harass them or something like that, but they are going to know why, okay? People are not going to keep a secret. They are going to literally come up to this individual and tell them, you sick motherfucker, or you sick whatever, you did this, you did that. But they are not ever going to accuse the TI of anything unless it's like just made up, unless it's a part of the big script. Oh yeah, they may accuse you of stealing or making, printing out fake bills, but it's all a script. It's not anything legitimate. They know exactly what's going on. But just keep that in mind. There are plenty of individuals on a real watch list, and they are not having this happen. They are not dealing with electronic harassment. I'm telling you what I know. They are living seemingly normal lives. They may only have problems when they try to board a flight, but that's going to be it. You have a lot of hardcore ex-cons, criminals, and they are not dealing with organized harassment. You could go up to any of these people. Like back in the day, I knew of a guy who was a sex offender, and I spoke with him one day. I went up to him and then, I kind of, I asked him or asked him, do you deal with anything, with you being on the registry? And he said, no. He said, other than a few comments here and there, no one really bothers me. That was like when I was 18, a long time ago. I was talking to an older guy. Seeing him at the store, and, I just kind of, because I knew he was on the registry. And nevertheless, he didn't deal with gang stalking. He didn't deal with electronic harassment. But at the same time, he is on a public registry. Anyone could look him up. Any random abandoned could look him up and find him on the registry. Okay? It's not a secret. It's not privatized. It's not any of that. So just really think about it. Why are you being harassed when these other people, they are legitimately bad people and they've committed very heinous acts? They are not being harassed. They are not on New Orleans monitoring. If they are not being attacked with it. So why you? Give that thought. Just really give it thought. Go up to any ex-con who committed a very heinous act. And more than likely, if you go up to them and you ask them, hey, do you deal with harassment on a daily basis? They are probably going to tell you no. And if you try to explain gang stalking to them, they will most definitely call you crazy. They don't understand this life, okay? The ex-cons don't understand this life. The sex offenders don't understand this type of life. They don't understand this lifestyle that targeted individuals deal with. There are plenty of people on a real government watch list, and they would not understand gang stalking a bit because they don't deal with it. So, bear that in mind. Why you, but not these other people who could legitimately be harassed? I'm out.